Hello, my name is Eve. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am bringing through spiritual guidance through 4 different decks for the year 2020 with a specific emphasis on the first 3 months. And as I go through the year, I'm going to do a video every 3 months building upon this one. So please feel free to always go back and listen to this, because I have a feeling that as we go into the year, when you go back and listen to it, there's going to be some extra messages that pop in for you. Now, I first wanted to go over the 3 big tarot cards based on the numerology of 2020 that are going to be our guidance here. Judgment, which is 20. The higher self, or the high priestess, which is 2, and then the emperor or reason, which is 4. 2020 has the energy of the card 20, the energy of the number 2, and then 20 and 20 is 40, and 2 and 2 is 4. So we have the emperor there, which is really quite magical, because the emperor represents our reasoning body. But the emperor also is on a throne because he's had a lot of experiences that have led him to be in a place of authority. He has earned that crown. He has earned that throne. He's going to follow his experiences, his rational guidance, but he's going to do it from a place of discernment, where he's going to think through it carefully. And in this specific deck that I'm using, the Emperor card is using all of his faculties. You could look at it as all of his 5 senses, but he's using all of his faculties. He's not only using his logical mind here, and he's weighing the pros and the cons so that he can make the best possible decision here. That's going to be an overriding theme and guiding force in the year 2020. Each and every one of us are, in essence, becoming our own emperor. And we are each also becoming our own higher priestess. Just as the emperor represents more of the rational thought, or the higher mind, the higher self, or high priestess, represents our deep intuitive body, our spiritual mind, listening to our high heart, our higher emotional body here. And with both of them, notice how calm they are. There's no need to rush in making decisions. You're going to make them when the timing is right here. And then karma, or judgment, is number 20. It's looking at our lives thus far. What foundations have we built, and where are they leading us to now? When we get to card number 20 in the tarot deck, we're almost to completion. The only one following that is 21, the world. We have amassed a great, I don't want to say boatload, but in a way, yes, we've amassed a boatload of experiences in this lifetime and through many lifetimes. And it's a recognition that we are a drop in the great ocean of creation. And just as that drop of water affects the ocean, we affect creation. There is no separation here. It is a beautiful card, and what I love is the pink lotus flower that is emerging from it. There's something about you emerging as a beautiful blossom or a flower as we move into and complete 2020. Now let's look at the decks of cards here. The first one, the stone, is Kunzite. It is a heart stone. You may pick it based on just looking at the stone or the card. The second, deck number 2, is Calcite. It is a sacral stone for the 2nd chakra. Here's my beautiful orange calcite. Very highly creative stone. Deck number 3, it's my lovely rose quartz angel, or you may choose it based on the card. And then deck number 4 is the skeletal quartz, very ancient quartz, and I actually happen to have one. I picked the cards, and then based on the cards I went and found the crystals, and I had every single crystal. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment to pick whichever deck, and remember always, you're here to follow both the Emperor part of you and the High Priestess. So if I go into a deck and somehow the whole deck doesn't resonate with you, then it wasn't meant for you. Either choose another one, or maybe this reading here today is simply not resonating with you. I don't always resonate with everyone in every one of my videos, and that's just the way every reader would be. So let's start with deck number 1, the Kunzite. This is a heart stone, and it rules the emotional body. The number here is 4. It's about bringing your emotional body into balance. It's also guiding you and showing you that throughout 2020, in particular the first 3 months, you are bringing into greater balance and harmony your physical being with your emotional light body. So your physical and your emotional body and light body are coming into a greater merge or integration here. Whenever we get the heart stones, specifically the pink ones though, I'm guided to let you know that you could be a little extra sensitive in the first couple months of 2020. And please honor that sensitivity and build a strong emotional foundation. Now let's look at the guidance from the goddesses. And we have Kuan Yin, compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and the light that is within everyone. So again, it's interesting how we have all of these pastel colors, these soft colors. It's about developing softness here within yourself. Actually, let me move these out of the way. I don't do that many picker cards, so if I did, I'd be a little bit faster at it, I think. It'll come in time. So Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion. She is also the goddess of true love. And she's guiding you to focus on your compassion. That's the biggest message here. And it's interesting how, okay, so with deck number 1, you're really resonating with the judgment card. And look at that. Yeah, release judgments. Don't judge yourself, don't judge others, and try to refrain from judging situations. Instead, choose to respond from your heart center and from your body of compassion. Now, from the third deck that I have here, the secret language of light, transmissions from the soul. You are the universe. That is a beautiful card. And again, we're back to the same color theme here. So all of you that chose deck number 1, you are very much resonating with the karma card, the judgment. The colors are a lot of pinks, a lot of violets, purples, light blues, and whites. You are the universe. It's a recognition that you are one with the universe and the universe is one with you. That you are an expression of creation. The universe is looking out through your eyes and it's experiencing itself through every action, thought, and feeling that you have. The universe is indeed expanding. It is not, the universe is not, what do we call it? A stagnant thing. It is expanding. It is always learning and growing. And you are part of that universe. just as you can call on the universe at any time throughout this year of 2020 to help you recognize all that you need is actually within you, because you are a reflection of the universe. So this is the idea of what is without is within, and what is within is without. I believe there's a mantra here for you. Let me look it up. And it is card 29, which reduces to an 11. So you have one of the qualities of the Judgment card, which is manifestation. There is nothing that you cannot manifest in this year of 2020. Understand, though, you're going to want to do it from a place of love and a place of compassion. Know the self and know the nature of everything. You are the pioneer of this universal frontier, and the universe needs you to know it in all its forms. Become your own authority. Choose to feel good by discovering what makes you laugh, what makes you love, and what makes you feel joy. Focus on this, and you will create whatever manifestation you want. But you're going to create it based on what gives you the most joy and love. And remember, when you are manifesting from a heart filled with laughter and love, your manifestation is going to be much bigger than when you manifest from a place where you're feeling limited. This whole message here for all of you who chose deck number 1 is ultimately that you are an unlimited being with unlimited capacity. And let's look at the extra guidance here, free will. Choose the path that is true to your values and do not hold back. This is a time of action for you. Again, spread your wings and fly. But just as you honor and recognize your path and your truth, honor and recognize others. Do not hold judgments on others if their pathway is radically different than yours, or if they are judging you. Do not mirror that back to them. Instead, turn around, spread your wings, and fly. Be bold and exercise your free will. You cannot change others. You can only change yourself. Yeah, I'm getting a very strong feeling here with this deck that you are spreading your wings this year. You're really fully becoming your true angelic self. And you're flying, you're taking action, you're moving in the right direction for you, and you are bringing into being all that you've built thus far. It's all coming into being. I am feeling a sense of fulfillment with deck number 1. And the last 2 cards I pulled from Whispers of Love, because I wanted a card about love. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. We're back to the energy of Kuan Yin and the Kunzite. When you come from loving thoughts and loving feelings, you can only use loving words. And if you're having a hard time having loving thoughts, choose loving words. Just start picking loving words and thinking about them, and that will probably bring your thoughts into a place of greater love. But I'm seeing here a sharing of love with those of like mind. That's what I'm getting. So all of you who chose this deck, there's a beautiful journey of true love that I know you are on in 2020. And you're going to be sharing that love with another. And let's look at the very last message from the unicorns. Relax, everything's okay. It's all going to work out perfectly. Beautiful message. And with that, there can sometimes be a timing issue. Just relax, sit back. You don't have to be in a mad rush. However, there is action that you are taking. But I'm getting the sense that all of the actions that you're being guided to take here, they're going to be deliberate, they're going to be well thought through, And you know, there's a lot of water energy going on here. So I really feel for you, all of you in group 1, that you are really practicing listening to your intuition at a deeper level than you have ever listened before. And I believe you're getting a lot of clairvoyance and clairaudient messages that are going to be coming throughout the year. Okay, beautiful. Let's move on to deck number 2. For all of you who chose deck number 2, the orange calcite, this is your reading. The orange calcite is actually a spiritual card. However, it's a spiritual card about working deeper with your sacral chakra, which is your creative center. It's your second chakra. And number 5 speaks to bringing in positive change within that sacral chakra. The second chakra is your creative center. It's also our romantic center. It's where we're wanting to share our lives with a romantic partner. So the orange calcite also speaks about romantic love. Meditation on this orange calcite will activate inspiration at your soul level to stimulate new areas of creative expression within your physical life. It's time to bring in some positive new changes within your creative center. There are no limits to the ways that you can creatively express yourself. And there is a mantra here. I am a creative being flowing from the light of my soul. Let's look at the extra guidance where we have here from the Divine Goddesses by Doreen Virtue, Irene, the goddess of peace. There is no need to worry, as everything is going to work out beautifully. I'm getting several different messages from this. One, this is for those of you who have a tendency to worry a lot about things. And worry may not be the right word for everyone. You may get a little bit anxious or nervous, but anxiety, nervousness, you know, these are all normal human emotions. So please don't judge them if you're having them. Just step back and recognize, okay, I'm a little bit anxious or nervous or a little bit worried, whichever word fits you the most, and get into a relaxed place, because she's so relaxed in this picture, holding that laughing child, whether it's a boy or a girl, and the dolphins are in the water behind her playing. There's an essence of playfulness here, an essence of springtime and summertime. So perhaps if there's a timing message for you in deck number 2, we're looking more towards the springtime and the summertime, the warmer months. Then again, depending where you are on the globe, if you're in the southern hemisphere, well, it is summer there right now. Then this would apply to you right now in your life in terms of a timing. No matter what, though, this message is saying, step back, relax, find your inner core of peace. Don't worry, as everything is going to work out beautifully, and it's going to work out in perfect divine timing. There was a little bit of a message like that also in deck number 1. So there's oftentimes bleed through or themes that go from deck to deck. But feel free to call on the goddess Irene to help you here. And for this deck, it's interesting I brought out 2 stones too, because I have more than 2 orange calcites. You're corresponding with the high priestess predominantly. That's what I'm getting here. So it's about you really following that inner guidance here. And you know, the high priestess is a very creative being. So tapping in to that inner muse that lives within you. Now let's look at the secret language of light, the transmissions from your soul. Interesting, the divine feminine. There we go, beautiful colors. And we have the orange, yellows. We have pretty much all of the colors of the rainbow here. It's about embracing And look at that. We have all the colors of the rainbow with the High Priestess as well. So notice the synchronicity here. And I want to read to you from the Divine Feminine card because the message is very important. It's telling you, number one, to really listen to your heart. Open your heart center more. And I'm getting that also from the Goddess. That's number 31. So you're building a foundation, which is 3 and 1 is 4. You're building a foundation through your heart space. Again, we're going back to the energy of your higher self and the High Priestess, because that's following that inner heart guidance. Shine your inner light on your desires. Look beyond the obvious and the superficial into the heart of a matter. So the other message I'm getting here is you may want to sit with things. See how she has, I believe in her hands here, she has a scroll of ancient wisdom. But I'm also interpreting that as the Akashic records. You are looking in to your own personal Akashic records. And that includes all of the many lifetimes and the journey that your soul has been on. And you are tapping in to that greater wisdom that lives there. So for deck number 2, if you haven't listened to my most recent video that I did for the solar eclipse here on Christmas Day, go and listen to that, because I talk a lot about the Akashic records, and that's going to fit the message that I'm bringing in here for you today. It is time for you to trust your intuition, your inner voice, and your instincts. This may also be a time for stillness. There are unseen forces at work in your life, orchestrating the whole universe to bring intense and beautiful experiences to life for you. Allow yourself to receive. So I'm getting a message here to open your heart and receive. Open your hands and receive. The universe is wanting to give to you. It also says nurture yourself and all that flows within and around you. Oh, wow. I'm getting a message that there could be an impending marriage, engagement, or birth around you, whether it's physically happening or it's symbolically happening. The Divine Feminine wants you to know that there's always enough to go around. Abundance and joy is everywhere around you. So I'm getting messages of marriage, engagement, new love or true love coming in, and also pregnancy or child. Wow, so there could be a lot of people that are picking this deck, and that's why I'm getting a lot of different messages here. Let's look at the last couple cards. Now this is the guidance for you to fully embody the transmission of your soul. Forgive. Find forgiveness in your heart, release the pain, and find peace as you clear the burdens that have restricted you. What this is saying is that throughout the year of 2020, in particular the first 3 months, forgiveness is one of the greatest tools that you're going to have in your pocket. Whether that's forgiveness of yourself, meaning being very gentle with yourself, very self-forgiving, being forgiving of a situation in your life, and not holding resentment towards others. I really feel that you're turning your back on unforgiveness. That's what I'm really getting here. For many of you, I feel like you're doing that already. So the finding forgiveness in your heart, I feel like many of you, you're already there, or you're mostly there. And maybe there's just a little bit left to go. But recognize that your greatest tool is going to be your ability to forgive. Because in that moment of forgiveness, you'll understand that there was nothing wrong. There was no right or wrong. It was all about learning. It was all about experience. Oftentimes when people hurt us, they don't intend to do that. They do it out of fear or self-protection, or they simply don't know any better. There's very few people out there who deliberately go out of their way to hurt. There are people that do that, but that's not the majority. And for most of you, I'm feeling like it's just embracing that forgiveness of self and really loving your totality, the totality of you. I love that card, and the colors all fit in with the rainbow theme. So let's look at the last few messages here from the Whispers of Love. I wanted to know what your love life was going to look like as we enter and go through 2020. Well, you're definitely in a relationship, or a relationship is coming, or you're getting married. There is something going on here that's very profound. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. It is a connection of souls, twin souls, sacred soulmates, divine beloveds. So that's a beautiful message of true love being very present in your life in 2020. Now, yes, in the beginning I said this, I was having an emphasis here for the first 3 months. Understand, though, it does embody the entire year, but let's hope that that is showing up. If you're single and wanting to bring new love in, let's hope that this is coming in for you, because I have a strong feeling it is. And this is what is helping you. Imagine, what would you see, feel, think, and hear if your wish came true? It's about dreaming the dream, really following your heart, fantasizing, using your imagination to see the answers. So it kind of goes with the higher self. Use your imagination to see the answers, but also use your imagination to bring in the love that you truly want in your heart. And lastly, the Divine Feminine is asking you to be completely in your Divine Feminine nature. Whether you are a masculine or a female, it does not matter. Bring out your Divine Feminine to play, laugh, and have more joy in life. And all of your dreams will come true. And whatever last bit of forgiveness you may still be working on, and the forgiveness for some of you is more just a letting go of pain, that there's still some residue of pain from past hurts, relationships, or emotional upheavals that you're still working on releasing. And that's okay. Remember, everything is going to work out beautifully. Wherever you are in this process, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please subscribe, or at least give me a comment, or let me know that you liked it. Thank you so much. Until next time. For those of you that chose group number 3 or the Rose Quartz, this is your reading. Okay, here I want to show that to you again. When we're dealing with the energy of the Rose Quartz, it's all about working with further opening up your heart chakra. Rose Quartz is specific to working on self-love and self-esteem issues. And so it's looking at your life as we go into 2020, and especially throughout the first 3 months. How are you building upon increasing greater self-love in your life? This speaks to the possibility of maybe not feeling worthy of love. Learning about love seems to be what our lives are all about. If we think about the human condition, the biggest thing we're all working on is self-love. Learning to really love everything about us, the light and the shadow. And that's what this Rose Quartz is illuminating for you. I have an affirmation for you. I am worthy and deserving of receiving love in my life in whatever form that takes. It's about meditating with where in your life you can bring in or embody more self-love. And so I invite you to maybe buy some Rose Quartz, or buy a bunch of different pink stones, not only Rose Quartz, and work with the pink ray of love And the archangels of love that work with the pink ray are Archangel Charity and Archangel Chamuel. So call them in to assist you here. And the divine goddess that I pulled for this is Brigitte. Don't back down, stand up for what you believe is right. So there's the issue of self-esteem along with self-confidence and self-worth. And she's inviting you to follow your heart, follow that inner truth. Stand up for yourself, speak up, use your voice. You can do it in a way that's very steadfast. And it's funny, I'm getting a hit here with this, that there's a bit of the Emperor energy coming in for you guys, for group number 3. And the Emperor is about thinking clearly about the words you're going to use, but stand in your personal power here. Don't let other people tell you what to do or talk you out of something when you feel in your heart that it is the right action to take. There is nothing that you're going to lose by standing in your truth, even if it means other people do not agree with you. So let's look at the guidance from your soul here. Inner voice number 28, which is a 1. So there's something about new beginnings here, but I love this card. Okay, what did I say about finding your voice? Finding your inner voice and speaking it. It looks like an angel, doesn't it? So you're spreading your angel wings, and above you is your crown. So you are indeed the Emperor. You could even say the Empress, whether you're a male or female. Call those two energies in. The inner voice is also guiding you to listen very deeply to your inner intuition. So what I'm picking up now here with group number 3 is I'm getting a resonance of both the Emperor and the higher self or the high priestess energy. So you're wanting to balance using both your thoughts and your voice and your mind with also your deep emotional intuitive body and guidance. You're going to want to follow what that guidance is. And I have a feeling you're going to be working with picking the right words. If you need to sit back with it, take your time where you want to sit back and think about the words that you're going to use, please do so. Persistent words and feelings that represent your greatest desires are dropping into your mind at this time. Instead of putting life off until you do or become something in the future, bring your desires into the present. What that means is there's no time like now. You may not be everything that you want to be just yet, but don't wait for you to become that. Begin asking for what you want now. That's what I'm getting. For group number 3, I'm feeling like your time is now. I keep seeing that word over and over again. You're ready. You may not think you're quite ready yet. You may look back and say, hey, I think I'm only 70, 75, 80. I'd like to be 100. And I'm here to tell you, don't wait any longer. It's time. Also, Brigitte's saying it's time. It's time to stand up. Be counted. Use your voice to manifest what you want. Use your voice to tell others how you really feel or what you really think. Write affirmations down. What I do all the time is I speak what I want to my guides and angels. And then the other message I'm getting here is you are absolutely on a certain pathway. Keep following that pathway and listening to that guidance. There's going to be more intuitive messages coming to you. But I'm also sensing there's another group of you that have been questioning. I'm getting this doubting message. You've been questioning if you're on the right track or not. And I want you to take the time to sit with that and meditate. And if some part of the journey you're on at this moment doesn't feel right to you, it's not bringing you the joy that you really want in your heart, then self-direct it, redirect it. Because your GPS, maybe it went off a little bit. You know, just as the voice on a GPS navigator tells you which way to go, your soul wisdom is always leading you towards your destination. If for any reason you jumped off that pathway for a little while, or you took a little longer to get there, don't question it. Realize that no matter what you do, you're always going to gain experience and insight. And remember here, this is funny, I'm laughing because your guides are telling me that no matter what route you jump on, even for a moment, if you take a slight left turn when it should be straight, oh, they're going to redirect you onto that straight line very quickly. So you have so much divine guidance right now. I don't want you to worry about it, okay? But what I want you to do is think about if the road that you are on, does it really bring you happiness? Does it put a smile on your face? Because if it doesn't, then there is some redirection that needs to occur here. So let's look at the other messages to see if we can get some extra guidance. Gratitude. Offer gratitude for all of the blessings in your life and spread joy to others through random acts of kindness. Yes, it's about starting with yourself, though. Remember that self-love? Express kindness to yourself. You are the person in the mirror, and every human being you meet is some form of a mirror to you. So when you treat yourself with the utmost kindness and self-love, your inner voice is naturally going to come out. And you will then be able to express that kindness and joy to others. But one of your greatest tools here in 2020 is always counting your blessings and having gratitude for everything, even if you got off path or if you feel like you made the wrong decision. I felt that way in December. I was very hard on myself, and I had to step back and realize that I did it because I didn't have all the experiences I needed to make the decision I probably would have made if I'd had that experience. So remember, everything in life is giving us something. Everything, and be grateful for even those times when you are in a position that doesn't feel so good, because there's going to be a learning. There's always going to be a blessing in disguise. Let's get the last couple messages here from the unicorns. This was the only deck where the unicorns really jumped out. Finish what you've started. You've started something important, and now it's time to complete it. So this is an answer to a few of you out there that maybe you just haven't had the time to complete something, or you don't want to complete it because when you complete it, it's going to be over. And you don't like the idea of it being over, because then maybe you're going to have to move on to something else. And that would make sense, because the second card here is hello and goodbye. It's about endings and new beginnings. So if you do complete what you've started, you may be in the goodbye phase. Okay, but what they're telling you here is it's time, especially the first 3 months of 2020, it's time to really complete certain things. And if it's something you weren't sure about and you only went so far with it, this is another message to please finish it, okay? But this is not a message for everyone. For some, it's just about knowing you know what you need to finish, okay? You know it's important. You just have to maybe add the last finishing touches to it. It's going to be something that really propels your mission or your career forward, but maybe you just hadn't had enough time, or you needed to finish up some coursework, or you needed to learn a few more things. But you're almost there, and just know that the answer is yes, this is something very important. And for others of you, it goes from that theme into the hello and goodbye, where as you're doing this, that means you're crossing a threshold in your life, and you will be saying goodbye to something and entering something new. I love this though, because look, you're coming into your castle. Your dreams are coming true. Isn't that interesting? You're flying high across the mountains. So when you're completing something, you're like Pegasus, you're flying. And now you're landing here. You are landing somewhere new. And it's either going to be a transition from this, or it's going to be a complete break into something new. And you'll soon see that this change is absolutely for the better. You will be saying goodbye, though, to people or situations that you've invested a lot of time and energy in, and you have emotions around it. So it's okay to honor that. In fact, please do honor that. Honor the goodbye. And know that maybe it's only a physical goodbye. It's not a goodbye in the greater theme of things. But there's a new hello waiting for you. There's change ahead for you. And it's very, very positive change. Otherwise, that whole kingdom and castle wouldn't be there. Okay? Boy, that's so exciting. So much positive change here. Let's look at the very last card. I wanted to pick from the Whispers of Love, guidance with your love life in your heart. Appreciate this moment. So that's about being in the moment. Really recognizing the beauty of the day, of every day that you have. And so we're back to the gratitude. Appreciate, have gratitude, count your blessings, give thanks every day for everything that you have. Because what I'm seeing in this card is you have a great treasure. And look at this, she's looking in to the beautiful shell, and she's seeing all that she has. So we started out this deck with self-love, right? And we're completing it by you recognizing what a loving, beautiful soul you are, that you have so much love inside of you. A shell could never contain it. This is a beautiful message. And the last part is, each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. Isn't that what I was just saying? Everything has a valuable lesson for you. And no matter what the situation, there was always love there, or at least the potential for it. And if it didn't work out for you, then maybe it wasn't the right timing, or maybe it wasn't the right person, or maybe that person was only meant to be there for a short moment in your life. And the love that was shared in that moment was more than enough. I'm seeing some beautiful things coming into your love life, expansion within your love life here, and a lot of beautiful new beginnings here. So thank you so much. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, write me a comment, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and happy 2020. For deck number 4, the Skeletal Quartz. It's part of the higher messages. Okay, it's one of the spiritual cards, but it's an all-encompassing crystal. And I want to read something to you from this book. It is the number 7. Number 7 is always the pathway of spirit. And I like how in this card it is placed upon a teal or aquamarine border, which is the color of the emotional body. But the aquamarine or teal color is also one of the colors of healing. So it could be that those of you that chose deck number 4 are on a healing journey at this time. And the skeletal quartz has layer upon layer upon layer. And the message with it is that you are the sum of all of your parts, that of all the lifetimes you've led, of all the journeys of your soul, you are an expression of all of those journeys. There's a sense of wholeness within this crystal. you are definitely experiencing a commonality to all of your life expressions. There's a theme here for you that is being played out life after life. And so we're going to look at what that theme is. Okay? And that goes very much along with the number 20, or the judgment card, which speaks to the pathway of the soul. So there's some form of a summation of your life that's very pivotal here, but there's also a message about a certain theme that keeps playing itself out that maybe we're going to want to look at here. Who you are now has much to do with who you have been and who you will be. Okay? Here's the affirmation for you. I am the hologram of my soul, living a new expression from the sum of my total being. And so that's the ultimate message, that you are a spiritual being always, and that in most of the lifetimes you've chosen to incarnate in, you've always chosen to walk a spiritual pathway. That you were never, or rarely, I should say, in lifetimes where it was all about financial and physical only. For those of you that chose this deck, there's been an overreaching theme throughout all of your lifetimes that was very spiritual in nature. And so let's see if we can get some more guidance here, because this is about 2020. Nematona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. What I'm getting here from the divine goddess is have altars around you. That's what I do, so that you can always connect to all the different parts of yourself, because you are this quartz. You have layer upon layer upon layer. You are a very refined, complex being. You're a very old soul. That's what I'm getting for those of you that chose this deck. You're an old soul, and you have layer upon layer of experience to pull forth here. I love that message. For you, I think, whoops, there we go. I knew this thing wasn't going to stay up the whole time. I'm going to suggest that if you haven't listened to any of my other videos, go back and listen to my last one, which was for the eclipse, the solar eclipse on December 25th. Go back and listen to that, because I speak about you recognizing that you have an open key card to access your Akashic records in the year 2020. And I'm getting that here, that you're going to want to pull on all of your soul's prior experiences throughout all of the timelines. You want to be able to access that, especially as we go into the first 3 months. And create those sacred spaces if you don't have them yet, or create more of them. The other message I'm getting is it might be time for you in these next 3 months to go visit a sacred place. Sedona, go into the mountains, go into the oceans, but go somewhere sacred and sit down and meditate with the earth. The earth has a lot of messages for you. And I got 2 goddess cards for you. The other one is Artemis. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. There's a lot of message she's telling me here. 1, you are on a holy mission on this earth. Therefore, do not worry. You are always being watched over and protected by on high. Okay? You are on a holy mission. Again, that message that you are on a spiritual mission here on earth. You have a very strong pathway to follow. You are going to be guided every step of that way. And what I love with Artemis too is her intention. See how she's holding the bow and arrow? She has focused intention. She can see the pathway. She has the guidance from the animal kingdom. She has the guidance from the fire, the flame, the fire of her inner soul. Her mission is on fire. And I'm seeing here, we're getting a fire message here. So perhaps it's going to be a lot of fire signs, or those of you that have a lot of fire energy in your chart that are picking this deck. You're being inspired, and passion is being lit up within you in the year 2020. And you are, without a doubt, on a very strong mission in this year. So let's look at the secret language of light, the transmissions from your soul. And I got the awakening, number 2. Okay, so just as we have the karma, we also have the high priestess then, listening to your inner guidance. The awakening, you are on the ascension pathway without a doubt. There is a huge awakening coming for you. Now, I feel that for most of you who picked this deck, you've been on this pathway for a while. And I'm here to tell you that in 2020, especially in the first 3 months, you are going to the next level of your own divine awakening. You are reaching a new level. There's a further awakening coming. And there's certain parts of your life that you are going to be leaving behind here. Certain ways of doing things that you're finding don't work for you anymore, or you don't want to do them. There's what you loved doing, suddenly you don't love doing anymore. And it's because on the next journey of your awakening, of your further awakening, you don't need that habit or that way of eating or that way of exercising, something about the way you were doing things or even thinking about things is no longer working for you, and you are letting it go. So there is a letting go message here. But please realize you are awakening to something that you can't even see yet, but maybe you can sense it. It's around the corner is what I'm getting. And then for some others of you that are just finding my videos, you're going through some of your very first awakenings. You've been on the pathway, but maybe you haven't been on the pathway as long as others. And your awakening is going to be huge. It's going to be like walking across a threshold where there was little light to so much light that you are jumping in joy. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. It's a very big awakening. So there's two groups here. One where the awakening is so profound, it changes the very fabric of your life. And for others, where it's more of a gradual moving into the next level of awakening, but you're aware of it, and it's happening in steps. Okay, so for some it's overnight, and for others it's gradual. Now let me read a little bit more on that. That's card number 2. So that's really listening to your divine sacred feminine. Yeah, you're about to experience an aha moment. This will come as a feeling of deep truth that seemed to have slipped your mind. You are opening your heart and your mind to the full, authentic you. Without a doubt, when we go through awakenings, they're all about bringing us more fully into who we are. But for those of you that chose this deck, the message I'm getting as well is it's not only a further awakening of your inner truth and who you really are as a soul and a human being, and beyond just being a human being and a soul. You know, are you an angel? Are you a starseed? What else are you? It's also a further awakening of your mission. So you're going to be getting a lot of guidance about that mission and where it's headed. It's also telling you you need to let go of conformity. If there are certain beliefs that have intermingled in your life that are keeping you constrained or confined or limited in some way, it's time to break free of them. You need to rouse yourself from the slumber of these outmoded beliefs and limitations. Okay, you need to see the greater creative possibilities that are everywhere. but please relax and enjoy this time. It is part of your natural evolution. Yes, so you are awakening your evolution. You're awakening to a higher form on your evolutionary ladder. That's what I'm getting. And of course, to emphasize this from the Universal Prophecy cards, I got purpose. Bring fulfillment and happiness into your life to inspire and empower others. Ask, what is my purpose in life? What can I do to make the world a better place? So you are indeed recognizing that maybe you need to expand your purpose at this time. You're looking at where is the next step in that expansion. For others who are coming into the sudden awakening where your life is really transforming like almost overnight, you're recognizing that you need to find your life purpose, that the pathway you were on wasn't really who you were, and you want to really tap in to a truer purpose for you. So just ask that question and you will be guided here. Okay, let's look at the last messages from the unicorns. Talk about your feelings. That's kind of funny. So yeah, I was getting a lot of emotions here with this group as well. That you're very fiery, you're very passionate, and you're very emotional. So I may be speaking to many of you who are fire signs, water signs, or you have a lot of fire or water energy in your chart. Talk about your feelings. You're not on this journey alone. That was the other message I got. You're not on this journey alone. You have the goddess Artemis. You have all this sacred energy with you, but you also have your friends, your partners, your team, whether they're in the physical form or spiritual. You have a team in both realities. Talk about how you really feel with everyone you truly trust and is part of that team. And then the last messages from the Whispers of Love, ask for help. Okay, so again, know that you have that guidance. Be willing to accept, okay, that was the message. It's not just about asking for the guidance. They're saying, be willing to accept it when it is offered. So I'm here with a bunch of givers, okay? This is the group of givers. I'm pretty clear on that one. I'm asking you to learn to receive now. Let someone else give to you, okay? And when you're asking for help, sit back and listen. That's the god Neptune. So that's the, Neptune rules Pisces, is one of the rulers of Pisces, and it's the dreamer. So the god Neptune is here to tell you that he's going to bring your dreams in. But pay attention to him, listen. See how he has his hand on top of her? He's saying, don't worry, beautiful mermaid. I'm here to make your dreams come true. I'm going to guide you through this magical realm to exactly where you're going. Yeah, in this group, you really have incredibly strong spiritual and emotional power. And the last card is new love. Embrace the new opportunity of love that is here. This can also pertain to work and spiritual growth. Well, I'm going to say it pertains to all three, because for all of you, what I'm getting is there's very, very strong and accelerated spiritual growth coming in, and with it there's career and work opportunities, and there's also new love. Embrace it all. I love you. Thank you so much. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me comments, and until next time.